So Solana hit its take profit area, and I want to discuss what's been going on with my 10 to 100k trading challenge. Let's roll that intro and get right down into it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video update where we're taking a look at the 10 to 100k trading challenge. And I want to discuss what's going on with my most recent trade, or the first trade in this challenge, what I did, where I am at, and all that kind of progress in between. If you find today's video useful, informative, maybe even entertaining, then why not go ahead and smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe and stay up to date with this challenge and all the other content that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Guys, let's jump into today's video. So we did see a three-wave move for Solana, right? So this was the position. We went long on Solana. Our entry was $164.07. We did a 10x long using the 𝗕𝗀𝗀𝗃𝗃 exchange, which you guys know is one of my go-to exchanges when it comes to leverage-based trading, along with BitGet. If you haven't yet got an account with 𝗕𝗀𝗃𝗃 or BitGet, go ahead and check them out. They're linked in a description down below. If you do use those links, you are eligible for up to various different bonuses and rewards depending on where you are around the world. All the terms and conditions can be found on their website, so why not check it out if you haven't done so already. Now, with our entry at 64.07, we did see an initial surge to the upside, but we found resistance, and the resistance was on its 4-hour 50 EMA, 50 SMA, and on the hourly, that resistance was its 200 EMA. This kind of got me quite nervous. We went from profit of around $1,000 down to negative $2,500 after opening the trade pretty quickly. We actually went down significantly lower in our entry, so I'm going to show you on the 1 hour time frame here. Okay, so we came down, we entered up here, we saw an initial $1,000, we came all the way down to a low of $163.12. This changed my strategy when it came to this particular trade, because I wasn't expecting it to breach its previous swing low over this side here at 163.32 cents. So this move to the downside was quite nerve-wracking, specifically when we're talking about trading significant amounts of money, right? We had $100,000 on this trade. So when we were taking a look at this, we saw this initial move to the downside. I said, and I put a video out in the episode 2 that we did, I was looking at going into profit and probably taking some off the table. And that's what I did. We saw this initial surge up towards its hourly 200 EMA, and we got out of our position here. And if I bring up our screen here, you can see that we took a 7.19% profit, a $700 profit for the Solana trade. Now, that in itself, in hindsight, was a really bad idea. But considering the variable changes to the trade, I thought it was very important. Let's come back down into our trading view here so we can talk about it. So with this initial surge up, we saw another crash to the downside, right, where we had a 2.51% move to the downside. Obviously, in hindsight, that was a bad idea, although we did test out the 200 EMA multiple times before we finally got the breakout yesterday afternoon. Now, that breakout probably would have been the better trading opportunity had I been around to actually see it. And had we gone long right here on the breakout candle, we would have basically still targeted out that take profit area. We would have put our stop loss underneath the 200 EMA. Would have been a great 4.42 risk reward ratio, and would have been a fantastic way. I probably would have gone 15 to 20x on that one because it had a tighter stop loss, and it would have been a great trade. But unfortunately, that is not what I did. But it is a testament to Elliott Wave theory here with how we've managed to actually hit our expected range and our expected target here for Solana, right? So as we can see, our stochastic candlesticks are coming down. We've got a long way to go to the downside before we go long again. So this actually then presents itself with a shorting opportunity here for Solana. I'm going to give it a few more hours to see whether that is something that I do or do not. Maybe I will move on to something different. But it does look like a Solana short is potentially brewing here. And if that is the case, the way that I would approach this would be to go short. Let's just take market for now. We put our stop loss above our area of expected profit, which now would be $177, and would target out support on the kind of 200 EMA. This is not going to be a great risk reward ratio. This is why I want to give it a few more hours to see whether or not we can lower that stop loss to the swing high and actually then get a really good basically risk reward ratio going here for this a potential Solana short. Okay, so there's a few things that we kind of need to discuss in terms of the trading aspects to everything. So let's go ahead and bring up Blowfin here. Okay, so knowing that our opportunities are there, we can obviously take into consideration that we've grown our account. We are now up here at $10,439 after fees were paid to Blowfin. Obviously, when we're trading such significant values, a $100,000 trade, then we do obviously need to pay higher fees than you would not normally expect if you're doing $100 or $500 or $1,000 trades, right? So we are talking about, I think it was like $260 in fees. So when we take that off of the equation, we end up with $10,439. So we've grown our account really, really marginally on that first trade. We obviously are trying to target out to trade up towards $100,000. So it is what it is for now. And we'll kind of consider whether or not we're going to be trading on Solana short or whether there's going to be another opportunity to kind of trade. Now, one of the things I do like about the Blowfin exchange is if you come over to your trading pair, in this case, it's going to be Bitcoin USDT here, you have all of these options that kind of appear under futures. Also favorite. You've got all hot meme, real world assets, BRC20, trending, new AI, ETH staking, and a whole host of others, right? So you could take a look at metaverse projects, NFTs, layer ones, GameFi, layer twos, all that kind of stuff. Now, if we kind of come back out of here for a second and we start thinking about what these menus actually give you access to is actually really important. So if we've got hot, this is things that are happening right now that people are looking into and all that kind of stuff. But I really like trending. Trending shows you the pairs in which a lot of people are focusing their efforts on right now. And when you take a look at this by volume, you can actually see some interesting volumes that are going through it. And in an ideal world, you want high volume, high liquidity pairings so that you can trade more accurately. The lower the liquidity, the lower the volume, the higher the volatility, which means you have a higher probability of getting stopped out on your trades. So we want to be trading things that have a high liquidity because Elliott Wave theory loves high liquidity. And we want to be trading something that has high volume so that we can be confident that we're not going to just be stopped out of a trade or stuck in a trade for a long period of time. We want to be able to see a nice, easy way to transact, right? We want a highly liquid market with lots of volume. So when we do this and we take a look at the trending area, we can see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana obviously being number 3 here by volume. You then have things like XRP, NEAR, Chiliz, Atom, Ape, and Luna. Now, obviously, these are not going to be giving you those stupid degen, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000% gains, by doing some stupid kind of 100x leverage kind of stuff. But what we are going to be doing is using reasonable leverage, 5 to 25x, somewhere in that range probably. And we're going to be targeting out highly liquid markets so that we can be confident in the analysis and be confident in the output. Solana, the trade that I was scoping out, is a clear example of Elliott Wave theory running incredibly well, and it's testament to basically sticking to the analysis. Now, obviously, things changed a little bit in that trade that I had put out, but we still managed to hit our take profit area. Now, I do not regret doing what I did by coming out of that trade early because things changed. The strategy had to adapt and we had to change to the scenarios that were there. However, it's also very important that should nothing have changed and should our strategy played out very well, then we would have been in about $6,500 of profit right now. Okay, so I don't regret the decision of coming out early on that trade, because ultimately the structure of the analysis had changed and therefore our strategy had to adapt. And I think we played it very well, considering we saw extreme volatility all around that 200-hourly EMA and the 54-hourly EMA. That in itself, coupled with the stochastic RSIs moving rapidly fast, we actually probably made a really wise decision, because with the outcome, although was very fantastic and we saw the target get hit, and that was only really driven from Bitcoin rallying up the way that it did past $70,000. Should that not have happened, I think the market probably would have called off, and we probably would still be stuck in a trade and potentially at a loss at this point. So adapting as times require, I think, is very important, and obviously making sure that you're not emotional about these things and you're black and white. Ultimately, I made profit, and so we can move on to the next trade without any issues. And I'm going to be looking through these charts in the trending area over the next couple of days, and I'll be kind of trying to figure out where I want to be placing the next trade with $10,439. So a brief update in today's video, just kind of explaining what happened with the Solana trade. We did hit the take profit range, which obviously was take profit was $175. I think we hit up to $174.60, something like that. So it's right in this pocket of basically taking profit, and I think we're going to be moving on to some pretty decent trades in the coming days as well. Guys, if you found it useful, smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe. And if you haven't checked out this video here, check it out and find out what's going on with XRP.